Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your boy, Carrington HERE, and today I want to talk to you real quick about your dream relationship. Yes, the one that you dream about, the one that sometimes you think about day and night. Sometimes you go to sleep with it on your mind, the relationship that you dream about, that you grow old with that individual, that you build the empire with that individual, that you have the children and the beautiful family and lifestyle with that individual. That's what I want to talk to you about today. But specifically, I want to talk to you about a necessary tool that you need to have in place in order for you to get that relationship, right? We all have a relationship that we dream about, but for a lot of us, if not all of us, we truly don't know what we need to do, what we need to change, how we need to grow, or what we need to have in place in order to experience that relationship. And so what I want to give you today or talk to you about today is non-negotiables. Yes, non-negotiables. And what non-negotiables are, if you are not aware of it already, non-negotiables are a few different characteristics and qualities about an individual that you have to have in place or that they have to have in place in order to be in a relationship with you. So me, for example, when we talk about non-negotiables in a relationship, one of my non-negotiables was the individual that I would get in a relationship with, they had to have a relationship with God, right? If you didn't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, if you weren't in pursuit of a better relationship with Jesus Christ, I did not want to be in a relationship with that type of individual, not because I'm judging them or looking down upon them, but simply because the way that I want my kids to be raised and because of what I believe in. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior, creator of all things, the God, right? And so if I'm in a relationship with an individual, I need us to both be in agreement with that, because the life that I live, the way that I think, the way that I carry myself is a reflection of the Bible, right? So we have, like, that has to be in place, right? That's not a negotiable. And so what I want to do real quick is I want to give you a couple of steps that you need to have in place, or really the steps that you have to take in order to create for yourself this list of non-negotiables. And it's two primary reasons why non-negotiables are so important. The one reason is because by you having a list of non-negotiables, it keeps you from ending up or experiencing relationships where you experience heartbreak, you waste your time, or really get in a relationship where it does not or don't have the capacity to lead to where you desire to be, right? So having non-negotiables, they keep you from that, right? And second thing is this: none of us as people are perfect. Let's get that out of the way. None of us are perfect. So the reason why it's great to have a list of non-negotiables, a few non-negotiables, is because as people, all of us, we need time to grow, to develop and progress as people. Therefore, when you have a list of non-negotiables in place, that's you saying, hey, I will not start a relationship with an individual if they don't have these characteristics. But anything outside of this, I am willing to give them time to grow in, as I hope that they also give me time to grow in the areas that I'm not good at. Right? So let's get into it. When we talk about step one and creating for yourself a list of non-negotiables, step one is to take some time and think about the individual that you desire to spend the rest of your life with. Right? Think about this individual. Think about how they are, who they are, and the characteristics and qualities that make up that individual. Right? Are they honest? Are they trustworthy? Are they respectful? Are they respectable, responsible, ambitious? Like, what are the qualities that make up that individual? Right? After you think about these qualities, I want you to write down all the qualities. So every characteristic and quality internal, forget the physical, internal, that make up the individual that you desire to spend the rest of your life with, I want you to write down those characteristics. So step one, that's that. Think about the individual you want to spend the rest of your life with and write down the characteristics and qualities that make up that individual. Step two is this: look through the list of characteristics and qualities that you have written down and pick 5. Right? Choose 5 of those qualities that you say, you know what, in order for me to even begin the journey of a relationship with an individual, they have to have this and this and this and this and this. Just choose 5, only 5. Right? And I honestly can't tell you why I like the number 5, but anytime I'm working with clients, I say, hey, pick 5 of these characteristics and label those as your non-negotiables, right? We don't want a list of 20, 30, 40 things. Pick 5. Why? Because 5 is a number that people can actually meet. And it's not you asking for too much from somebody else, because you have to understand what you expect from somebody else, you also need to be expected from yourself. So by having 5, a list of only 5 non-negotiables, that positions you in a place to where they can have a list of non-negotiables as well, and you can meet them just like they can meet yours, and you're not expecting a perfect person, right? So step one is to think about that individual, write down all the characteristics. Step two is to pick out 5 of those characteristics and define those characteristics as your non-negotiables, right? So step 3 is this: you have to understand what having a list of non-negotiables mean, right? And this is what I'm talking about. When you have standards, expectations, non-negotiables for relationships, that means that you might be single longer than you expected. That means you might be by yourself longer than expected. That means you might come in contact with an individual that you may be interested in, but because they don't meet 2 or 3 of your non-negotiables, you may have to let that go. And I'm not being harsh or I'm not being too much at all. But what I've come to experience from working with clients and the emails that my wife and I get in, people meet people, they don't have non-negotiables in place, and they assume that, hey, if I get in a relationship with this individual, I like them so much, the chemistry is there, they're going to change. And they find themselves 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, pregnant, having multiple kids in this relationship is dysfunctional. We were married, got a divorce. They were cheating on me. They were lazy. They were this, they were that, simply because they ran past the red flags that weren't in alignment with your non-negotiables, right? So you have to understand that because you have these non-negotiables in place, there is a big chance that you may be single longer than you truly desire to. Not because you're not good enough or not because people aren't good enough, but simply because it may take time for you to come in contact with an individual that meets these 5 non-negotiables that you have. But the blessing in that wait, once again, the blessing in that wait is you're not settling for what shows up. You're choosing to wait for what you really want, and that is an expression of your confidence. So once you have these characteristics written down, you write down the qualities that you desire in a significant other. Then you write down and pick out 5 of these specific qualities that you say, hey, the individual I'm dating or in a relationship with, they have to have these. You understand and accept the fact or the truth that, hey, I might have to be single longer than I desire to be. And step forward, the last and final step is this: go. Right? Go. If you're a woman, position yourself to be found by that phenomenal man that you desire. If you're a king, go and pursue and look for the woman that you desire. But as you look or as you allow yourself to be found, ladies, be sure that you stand firm on these non-negotiables. Your non-negotiables have to be a non-negotiable for you. Right? So you have non-negotiables for that individual, and the non-negotiable for yourself is to be confident and stand firm with these non-negotiables. And doing so, that's going to position you in the beginning, before you even connect with an individual, to experience relationships with high-quality individuals that you have the possibility and capacity to create a high-quality relationship with. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube video, and I look forward to speaking with you guys again soon. Peace out.